I talk, you listen. Welcome to my one-man panel of madness. Hey everybody, this is Dr. Gio Who, and oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start on this episode with regards to Doctor Who and the episode Rosa, which I think by far has been one of the best, if not the best episode of Doctor Who that I have seen. Now, I remember early on when Matt Smith was still the Doctor, he really didn't grow on me until I saw Vincent and the Doctor, which I think was one that kind of gave me that moment of like, okay, yeah, he's the Doctor. And there were other episodes that I think were good in nature and story, the structure and stuff like that. But Rosa just had this element that I have not seen in Doctor Who. There was this sort of realism, this realistic nature, because we're visiting. I mean, we visited the past, and again, we have visited real people like Vincent and so forth. But this story just had so much to give, and you try to think, well, who really is the villain here? Of course, you've got somebody who's trying to nudge history in the way that they wanted, but everything else, the racism and all these other themes just made this episode honestly one of my all-time favorites. And so early in Jodie Whittaker's tenure as a Doctor, I'm already just in love with her series, with this new series of Doctor Who. I just was really just shocked. It was a very emotional episode, I have to say. It was one of those that really frustrated you, made you angry and upset that what we saw on TV was real. This was real history. This really happened at that time. All the performers were just amazing. I think the final scene, and again, spoiler if you haven't seen it, where Graham is like, I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of this part of history. His face just, I mean, the only other time that I have broken into tears over a face like that was with Wilfred Motts. Just because the way he especially in David Tennant's last episode, when he was kind of blowing a kiss goodbye to the 10th Doctor, always breaks my heart. Like, that scene just it just shatters me. But that scene with Graham, standing up and realizing, oh my goodness, it's like I'm the reason that Rosa decides not to give up her seat. But it's a very powerful story, and I think it's about time that we had stories like this in Doctor Who, because Doctor Who for me has always been inspirational. It's always helped me through troubling times, or whenever I'm down, I watch an episode, and it's not like it solves all my problems. It just allows me to maybe view my problem in a different perspective, instead of seeing it from a sort of a attachment, or from my own point of view. I try to open it and from a different perspective. And I think this episode just genuinely brought something to Doctor Who that we haven't had in a long time, or have not had, because I've tried to think about what other episode had this kind of emotional power and thrust. I mean, the whole story was just from very beginning, from the moment that Ryan gets slapped for trying to help give a glove back to a woman. You just knew, it's not just going to be a fun visit to history. It's going to be real. Surprise, having Martin Luther King there as well. Spirit of Rosa, when Graham talked about that Ryan's Nan had a shirt that said that. I mean, all these little connections just made the episode one of the best. And I know it's one of the best and emotional because I haven't been able to watch it as much. The other episodes I've watched 6, 7, 8 times prior to the broadcast of the new episode. This one I've only been able to watch about 3 times, and that's again is because it's such an emotional roller coaster. The whole last scene with the music and the look on the Doctor's face when she realizes, I can't do anything. If I do, I will mess up time. It's like, wow, There's no other choice. She has to sit there and not be the hero that the Doctor has always been. So very powerful. The writing was really good. I really enjoyed the writing. This team has a really good flow. They kind of work off each other, where it's normally just one companion and the Doctor and then every other character that guest stars. But this team, I'm just in love with them. And the last scene in the TARDIS, which is kind of cool because we see more of the interior of the TARDIS, which we see that the crystal in the center actually goes up and down, which is kind of cool because one of the things of the newer TARDISes, not the 9 and 10th TARDIS, but 11 and 12, you didn't really see that part, because they had the tubes in the center of the console, so you didn't see the little rising of the regulator going up and down. So I love to see that we saw more images, and that we got to see more pieces of the TARDIS. There's a display. The moment that you see Bill Clinton and Rosa Parks in real life, showing real history, again, very emotional. And in this time and day, we need stories like this. We need stories that remind us that we have to stand up to racism and things that just are not cool, things that don't help us as a species, as human beings on this planet. So I can't even say this is a ramble. It's really, for me, this is a love message to Doctor Who Series 11. Chris Chibnall, I gotta say, I was very worried in the beginning. I just felt that, I don't know, I just didn't know if he actually had it. Because, he was kind of just picked out of, I almost felt like, out of the blue, they just picked Chris Chibnall. And yes, he had written episodes of Doctor Who, but he had never been anyone like Mark Gatiss, right? Or names that we know that have written for Doctor Who, Jamie Matheson, stuff like that. Names that we know off the top of our head. So you're like, well, why is the Broadchurch guy going to be on Doctor Who? Stephen Moffat we know because he wrote episodes, and he just seemed like the next best choice. All his episodes were great episodes. But I've got to say, I am very, very excited with what Chris is doing. The look of the show, the feel of the show, it's like watching mini movies. And I love it because we're getting 10 mini short films about Doctor Who and the new voyages of Doctor Who. And again, I just can't talk enough good things about this team. This team is just, for me, it's the dream team, And sometimes I get upset at myself because, I have my doctors, the ones that I really just love, and they're close to my heart, I guess you could say. And right away, I think Jodie, just even with this third episode, has already become one of my doctors as well. So that, I think, is a good ramble for now. So let's see what the next episode brings. Arachnid, which is funny enough because today I just went to a tarantula festival and got to hold a tarantula for the first time. So I'm kind of excited for that. So this is Dr. Gio Who, and check us out next time.